Okay, I'm going to work on the crankshaft here, and what I've done so far is, I'm going to mount the lathe here. What I've done so far is just turned up a piece of stock, drilled a hole in the end for 1032 thread, and this will actually slip through the flywheel. And what I'm going to do is put it just under a little bit, and then I'm going to silver solder that, and hopefully it will stay straight. And on this end, I still need to turn an angle in there somewhere like maybe a 7 to 10,000 or 10 degree angle in this bore for a screw to go in there and expand this, because I'm going to, before I silver solder it, I'm going to take the and cut and make this into an expanding mandrel basically, so that I can put my gear on there and expand it and then lock the gear in place. So I've got the hole drilled for the threads. Now what I want to do is set my compound to an angle, and not exactly sure what angle I'm going to shoot for. First I got to get a wrench to loosen that up. Like I say, it could be 7, 10, 5. The only thing is, when I set this angle, I want to leave it there so that when I come to turn the head of the screw, that I turn the same angle, so that they match. So, I am going to turn this. I got to move my little chip guard, rubber chip guard here in the front, so I can see. Actually, I really don't need to see. I just got to set it. But I'd like to know what angle I went to. Loosen that up a little more. Dragging. Okay, so there's 10. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with a 7 degree. I'm going to go with 7 degrees. So I'm going to lock that 7, and so it'll be a 14 included angle. And now I need to take and get a boring bar set up here and put in here. Just small boring bar to go into that hole to cut that angle. And let's see here. I have it. Go in there. This really small one. This won't work. And lock that in. Get it set on center. You can see it's way below. Alright, now let's see where we're at. Scale in there. Yep. We're above. We're ways above now. Alright. Ready again. Well, that's pretty close right there. I'm going to call that good right there. I got it set about where I want. That locked. Bring this in. We're at the bottom now, so I'm going to back this out a ways. And then I'm going to get up there, lock my carriage, And I want to kick it up to about 1,000 RPM. You'd think I'd remember where to shift that, but... And let's move you up closer here. You can see on the other side. Maybe. Well, I can't get you too much closer there. Let's move you up here. You're right on the tool post. Looking down at it. Alright. Hopefully you're getting a good shot of it. And that's a little tiny boring bar. Just to show you, the face of it is only like about 125, about an 1/8 inch. So here we go. Hopefully I won't break it right away. Okay, that's about as far as I want to go in there. So now I'll tap the hole and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to cut away here and go and tap that hole. Okay, I tapped the hole, and now I'm going to that might help. I'm going to turn the angle on the screw, and I haven't changed the setting at all here. I might have to move you in the tailstock though again, because tailstock has to be back a little bit further in order for me to get up there. And what I'm going to do is just turn that head of that screw. The 1032 Phillips head. Oh, and all right, where did I lay the shaft at? Oh, here it is. What I want to end up with is the diameter, the big diameter of the taper on that head of that screw to be at least about this breakout point, about 225. If I can get there, we'll see how it looks. Just out of curiosity, where am I right now? I'm at about 310, so I want to go about 90,000 more. Hopefully there'll be enough of the Phillips drive to drive the screw in. I'm kind of hoping anyway. It's going to be pretty thin. Let's see what we got here. We've got 240. I'm just going to take about 20 thou more. I'm going to call that good right there. Now, I also need to cut the length of that screw. It doesn't need to be that long. It can be parted off right about where it's at. So I'm going to put the part off blade in there. Back up here. Set that parallel to the my tool post. Back parallel there. And maybe I want it just a little longer than that. I'll just grind a little off if I have to. 1.5 times the diameter is maximum, supposed to be maximum thread strength anyway, so. I'm going to crank it in here a little bit. And I'm going to stop and get a small file. And then finish it. There we go. So there is the screw that's going to go in there and expand that. So the next thing to do is to go and put it in a 5C collet and cut the slots. So I'll be back when I'm on the mill and get that set up. Okay, I'm over here on the mill now, and got the cutter in there. It's got a couple broken teeth out of it. That's how I acquired this. This got thrown in the trash can when where I work because they broke a couple teeth out. But for me, it's just fine. Works just fine yet. So it's 30 thou wide. I've made use of it. So now I want to set a vise stop here so that I have this. I have a vise stop there, but it's not in the right spot. Move it over here. Move it on down here. Don't have to clamp it tight. That's not going. I gotta get the other one. I have one that I believe is a little longer than the other. That will reach. Yep. So we'll just take and we'll put that on there. Doesn't have to be tight. I'm not gonna. Just gonna slide it up against it and lightly clamp it. All right. So now what I want to do is touch off with the slitting saw. I know it's 30 thou, so once I touch off, I just move it up 15, 0, and then go 250 from there, and I should put me on center line. Let's see, I want to switch to low. That's still plenty fast. I think I'm going to drop a belt down at least one cog. That's still plenty fast. I'll try it there though. I don't want to burn that thing up. I've had this for so long. Now I'm going to drop it one more. Drop it to the low. That's better. Alright. Piece of paper. Put it on. Come up here. And then slowly crank up until I touch. Until I rip the paper out. right there. I'm going to crank away, crank up to 15. I'm going to crank up to 15, that's half of the width of that cutter. That puts the center line on the edge of the pin. The pin is 3/8. So I want to go 187 thousandths. So there's 187. That should be close enough to center. And I don't want a climb cut with this one. It's a steel part, so I'm going to move you over here to the side. I got you plugged in, so it's kind of hard to... Alright. Alright, there's where it touched. I want to get some oil. A little oil on that. Always makes me a little nervous. Especially with a couple teeth missing there. Alright. And we definitely got to go a lot more than that. So I'm going to go a couple hundred here on my X and try and go through there again. Get my oil moved over here so I can reach it with my left hand. Okay. I think that's about as deep as I need to really be. As deep as I'm going to go. We're going to see if it works there. Okay, now we're going to take and index it. One, and bring it back in there. And slowly go across her again. So anyway, I'm just going to slowly go across it again, and then index it one more time and do it again. So I'm not going to video the whole process because it'll be 2 more times just like what we just did. Me standing here being a little cautious and cranking slow. So I'm going to cut away here and hopefully I'll get through this and we'll see what we got when we get done. Okay, I just finished the last cut here and take it out. I'm going to have to deburr it naturally. That's what it looks like. I'm going to blow it off a little bit. I have some needle files. I'll try to deburr it with them because I'm going to have to get in the slots in the inside on one side and try to deburr that and deburr the outsides of it. So anyway, I'm going to sit down and deburr, but that's what it looks like, and we'll see if it works after I get it all deburred. I don't want to turn the screw in there and try it until I get it deburred. So I'll see if I can get the burrs off, and I'll be back. Okay, I was having a heck of a time deburring it with a file. I didn't have a file that I actually could get in there. I emeryed it a little bit, and I used the scribe and some stuff in the inside. Got it pretty clean and burr free. I'm going to just make sure that it works now before I silver solder it in to the flywheel. So I've got the gear here, which is loose. I'm going to have to move you though. I got to get in there with a screwdriver, so I'm going to move you over here to the tool post. Back you up. Alright. Kind of see what's going on. So it's loose on there. Like I say, what I did was I put it in the lathe and ran a file over it a little bit, and then went in there with some emery paper a little bit. So see if I can get the screw started in there. Come on. There it goes. Get a screwdriver. Alright, get a screwdriver here and drive that in. The gear's going to sit out there like that, somewhere in there. Oh yeah, perfect. Locked it right up, and the end is flush like I wanted. I think it's going to work as long as I have the right lengths here. So let's go over to the surface plate for a minute. I just want to double check stuff. Here. This is the housing. Grab that out of the lathe. So this is slip fit right now to the flywheel. It's supposed to be. Come on. There we go. And that's got to go through the bushing. Get everything lined up here. It goes through the bushing. So that's where it's going to ride. It's going to ride right there. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to take a little bit off of the other side. I think I'm a little long. You know what? I could just go in here and put a little bit of a pocket in. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take and cut some off. I'm going to face some off of this side. See about how much. Probably about 30 thou. I'm going to go ahead and face off before I silver solder that in place. I'm going to face off the other side. Face off to the side. I'm going to take 30 thou off of that, and then I'll be back and we'll try it again. Okay, I faced off 30 thou off the end of that, so we'll try it again. Stick that in the flywheel. This around. That's going to go like that. It's going to go up flush. Or close to like that. Perfect. So that's the length I want right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chamfer this real good, and clean it up real good, and then flux it, and then silver solder that in place. I'm just going to silver solder this side, and that should hold her in place, I hope. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a whirl, and I'll be back one way or another if it works or if it doesn't. If it doesn't work, then I will either just plain Loctite it, or I could drill a long pinhole to go through. You know, maybe that isn't such a bad idea to go and just go from this side, a pinhole all the way through, so I can pin both of them at the same time. Well, we'll see if the silver solder, how the silver solder works. As far as the rod journal, I'm going to make a nice heavy press on one side, and then it'll have this taper lock on the other side. So I think that'll work. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set up to do some silver soldering.